Have you ever wondered why some women seem to effortlessly captivate a man's mind, lodging themselves so deeply in his psyche that he can't seem to shake them off? It's not about games or manipulation. It's a profound psychological phenomenon, a concept rooted in the work of Carl Jung, about a woman entering a man's shadow. This isn't a chase. It's a quiet, magnetic pull that binds him in ways he may never fully understand or escape. This woman becomes a mirror to his repressed self, her very essence weaving into the whispers of his anime, the feminine side of his consciousness, challenging the denials of his ego. She doesn't enter his world by force. Instead, she enters through a subtle, powerful detachment. Her emotional self-worth is a steady anchor in the chaotic storms of attachment. And once she finds her place in his shadow, the signs begin to appear. A tension coils around his heart, and his desire is amplified by the mystery of what he can't quite grasp. This archetypal woman moves with a quiet certainty. She has done the shadow work, the difficult process of confronting and integrating the repressed parts of her own soul. Her power comes from this journey of individuation, of becoming whole. Her attraction isn't about demanding attention. It's a magnetic pull that stems from her deep intrinsic sense of value. In contrast, the archetypal man often navigates these waters unconsciously. His behavior becomes a screen for his projections. He sees her as the ideal lover, the healer of his hidden wounds, the embodiment of his anima, who promises to make his fractured ego whole. These attachment dynamics are fueled by old wounds, the kind that trauma psychology unearths like ancient relics, while Stoic wisdom might preach detachment as an antidote to this inner chaos. Her presence changes everything. When she enters his shadow, these forces collide, and her presence triggers internal shifts that reveal the inescapable hold she has on him. The first sign is a restless unease that haunts his waking hours. The silence between them stretches on, amplifying the tension of unspoken desires. In Jungian terms, she has become the container for all his repressed qualities. She is the dark mirror reflecting his own illusions back at him, forcing a confrontation he has been trying to avoid. But her calm, feminine detachment stands in stark contrast to the trauma-induced anxiety surging within him. His attachment patterns begin to border on obsession because true emotional self-worth feels just out of his reach. He feels a weakness setting in, not in his body, but in his spirit. The mystery surrounding her deepens, and an internal shift whispers of the permanent mark she has left. Imagine him watching her from across a bustling cafe. Her brief, knowing smile ignites a firestorm of projections within him. His unconscious behavior betrays the pull of his anima towards her powerful sense of self. It's in these moments that his resolve weakens, old fears of abandonment resurface, and the tension builds as her silence becomes the canvas for his hidden longings. From this simmering unrest, the second sign unfolds, a compulsive return to her memory. Fragments of their encounters replay in his mind like ghosts in a forgotten hole, provoking a desire that borders on madness. She has entered his shadow by embodying a strength he lacks, her own journey of self-discovery shattering his ego's defenses. It's as if she's forcing him to do his own shadow work, whether he wants to or not. Her unwavering sense of self-worth draws his attachments even deeper. Trauma psychology tells us that old wounds are reopening, and his stoic endurance begins to crumble under the weight of this newfound vulnerability. The internal shift intensifies. The mystery deepens, the gap between the woman he projects onto her and the woman she truly is, leaving him tangled in a web of his own making. Then the psychological weave tightens, revealing the third sign, an inexplicable jealousy that simmers just beneath the surface. Her interactions with the world, her successes, her friendships, they ignite shadows within him that he thought were long buried. His ego begins to fracture under the strain. Jung's theory of projection illuminates this trap. She now carries his unlived potential, the essence of his anima intertwined with his repressed self. His desire twists into the dark twin of possession. Picture him alone, late at night, scrolling through her digital echoes, old photos, saved messages. This symbolizes his internal shift toward a reluctant self-confrontation. This obsession leads to the fourth sign, a profound fatigue that cloaks his days. His energy drains into the void of her presence in his shadow, weakening the barriers of his psyche. He's unconsciously resisting the psychic dance she has initiated. But the shadow work is demanding that he integrate what he has long denied. Her empowerment, her awareness, acts like a sword cutting through the veils of his own trauma. The tension builds like distant thunder, and the silence heralds a transformation of his desire. He starts to catch glimpses of his own potential wholeness. He's beginning to realize the inescapable hold her own individuation has on his fractured self. As this psychic entanglement crescendos, the fifth sign appears, a subtle mirroring of her traits in his actions. He might adopt her stoic resolve or find himself echoing her wisdom, yet he falters when faced with his own persistent trauma. For him, this isn't progress, it feels like entrapment. The voice of his anima now sounds like her voice within him. An emotional turning point, a river wave of denial crashing against the shore of awareness. This mirroring gives way to the sixth sign, an intensified dream life. Her image becomes entwined with his shadows in his sleep, provoking nocturnal struggles that bleed into his waking hours. Her detachment acts as a catalyst for these trauma-induced reveries. He might wake up in a sweat, the residue of a dream clinging to him like mist, or catch a sudden scent in the air that pulls him right back into her shadow's embrace. Finally, the seventh sign seals the inescapable bond. A quiet obsession takes root. Thoughts of her punctuate his solitude, her presence in his shadow becoming a perpetual echo that time cannot erode. The projection is now fully internalized. His anima and animus are locked in a dialogue within him, and her allure has become an unbreakable thread. This is where a major turning point occurs. His resentment can transmute into admiration. His weakness becomes the forge for his own reluctant shadow work, provoked by her detachment. He might find himself composing unsent letters, pouring his projections onto paper, a desire that is now a bridge to self-discovery. This leads to the ultimate surrender to vulnerability. His ego begins to dissolve in the light of awareness, and the echoes of trauma fade. His attachment evolves, creating liberated space between them. A spark of empowerment, mirrored from her, is ignited within him. Silence becomes his teacher, the tension finally releases, and his desire is purified in the fire of self-worth. The woman who enters a man's shadow through her empowered essence initiates a profound transformation. She doesn't trap him. She simply awakens the prisoner already within him, bound by the very mysteries that have set her free. Her journey of individuation becomes the catalyst for his thank you. So much for joining me on this deep dive into the psyche. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences with this powerful dynamic. See you in the next video.